Hi Aries, and welcome to your June reading. We are going to start with horoscope astrology part, and then we are going to move to tarot halfway, so 7 to 10 minutes down the road. That's when it's going to start if you want to kind of click forward. So just to start with, June is really bringing some extra interest in learning and connecting and communicating. So it is kind of like about branching out for you, my dear Aries. It is not the best time for kind of like focused concentration, but you are in great shape for feeling out of your options and picking up new information. So take this month as something that is really excellent for studies, particularly self-taught or home learning endeavors, and kind of like really works especially during these lockdowns, which are loosening up a little bit. Mars is continuing to transit your privacy sector until the 27th. This kind of like makes sense for you to strategize, to rest, to reflect, and also to tie up loose ends. This might not always be easy to do, but it's kind of like really important, and it's almost like a vital process. So Mars, it's kind of like here to alert you to areas of unrest of which you haven't been consciously aware until now. So the desire to heal and move on is really, really strong for you. So you may not always know how to channel your energy efficiently, but this kind of like leads to creative ways to deal with challenges. It might be quite a bit of action in your private world. It also might be quite a bit of action with your health. And this comes at a time when Venus is retrograde until the 25th, and when Mercury turns retrograde on the 18th. And this is kind of like reinforcing the benefits of slowing down and taking your time with decision making, right? You also should pay special attention to activities that maybe help you unwind and they can decompress. And that's going to be giving the best results in all areas in your life, right? Make some room for free-form activities that kind of like feed your spirit and satisfy your itch to learn and discover. So as you see past relationships and expectations in a little bit different light this month, you're also going to naturally redefine what you now want and what you also need from your connections and projects. So further information can surface, and that's going to shine a light on a past issue, or there can be a connection made with someone from your past. So either way, you can feel as if you're kind of starting fresh, but it's also important to kind of like know there will be more to the story after Venus gets out of retrograde, when it goes direct on the 25th, right? So this can be a chance maybe to redo a significant project, or to return to a project or research that once seemed to be a lost cause. So instead, you can kind of recognize a line of study or another calling that is a better fit for you. You almost like putting yourself on a table and you're just saying, what is the best for me? What is the best for this Aries? So we just went through the lunar eclipse on the 5th, which is really powerful, still going through that, which is powerful for gaining perspective on something from the past. And this is also helping us to get a fresh start through this new insight. Because your worldview is changing, affecting your choices and decisions, it's kind of like path forward, but it's also at the same time, even though it's motivating, it creates tensions, right? So it's a rubber band. Like whenever you stretch it all the way, this is the biggest part. This is like when you expand the most, but this is a tension, right? It's normal. So this eclipse stimulates your senses. So bird feelings and desires can emerge in really kind of like powerful ways. If that's what you are experiencing right now, it's just normal, but it's kind of like you need to take it in advantage in account, and it's going to serve to illuminate something, right? So if you have been ignoring your needs, or you're ignoring kind of like that you need to expand yourself, the circumstances right now will force the issue, right? This is kind of like the major arcana cards, and specifically kind of like these karma cards that they have in there. This is almost like the big god or whatever is the force you believe in is showing up, and you're told to do, you're not anymore asked to do, right? So I would also say that it could be that you'll have to sift through some maybe complicated feelings, and that you might get the surges of some kind of complications or some issues that you're not sure how to deal with, and they might quickly bubble up to the surface. But at the same time, while they're confusing, try to deal with them. And I'm just about to say avoid being impatient, and then I realize, oh my god, I'm talking to Aries, what the heck was I thinking? But if you can, avoid impatient communications or any kind of like impatient move. Just give yourself 24 hours or 48 hours rule. You'll be dealing with that later, right? And then you're going to approach them with much cooler heads, right? Or at the very least, get yourself one of those doggy cooling mats. You can get them in a dollar store for $1, right? And put your head literally on it to cool. That will really help. Try also, guys, not to take on new projects that you feel that you want to squeeze it in, but you're realizing logically that you don't have enough time or enough energy to complete. Now, Mercury goes retrograde on the 18th, and that for you is in your home and family sector. And so hence some problems will need to be fixed, or there will be delays on that matter. So it's at the same time really great time for great ideas and enjoyment of your domestic life. So it's going to kind of like feel that you're getting support from unexpected places, unexpected sources. Also, the sun is going to move into your home and family sector on the 20th. That's when we go to Cancer. And solar eclipse is going to occur in this area the next day on the 21st. So that kind of like heralds new beginnings on the home front and also with loved ones. So whatever it is, the next level, the next phase, you're going to feel, if you're not with somebody, that you really want to be with somebody, how nice it would be, and so on and so forth, right? So there might be a disruption before this new beginning. So it's a time for considering kind of like reinventing yourself or simplifying or even kind of like hunkering down. So this fresh start for you on the 20th may arise from a feeling of being stuck or blocked by others, right? And hence you're going to feel, okay, I have to come up with this new strategy, new approach. And remember, this is how I started this whole kind of like introduction, because that was like the biggest sense I had, right? And it's going to really connect, especially those of you who are already living with somebody or in kind of like steady relationship, is going to feel that you really want to make improvements to your home life or living conditions in the kind of like few weeks following this eclipse, right? You will also be a little bit out of your character, and this is the Venus retrograde, which is the opposite of basically what it of Aries. It goes in Libra, goes in Taurus, rules them, but you are going to crave that harmony, and that harmony is going to be how you talk to people, daily life and relationships, right? In order to achieve that harmony, you will be digging in your past or anything that pops up, especially when it comes to your relationships in your projects. So hence, you might go back and revisit all conversations or all ideas or all studies, right? And you're going to be processing this more or less entire month until the 25th, and then ta-da, you'll start applying them, right? So some areas might be moving forward, but others might kind of like require some review. So when Venus turns direct, it's kind of like going to help you to come across as you really want to, but because you'll still be in Mercury retrograde, it can still create some kind of complications, right? So up and down kind of a thing. So keep your cool. It's really important. Name this month keep your cool kind of a thing, right? So 27th of the month, Mars enters your sign, and that can be really, really big prompt for a charge ahead. You will be almost like be reawakening. This transit is going to be very, very powerful, and you'll be feeling very comfortable in your own skin and really more energetic and more confident. So be sure to use this energy to get things accomplished, right? So I know that you like to do things on your own, like this is kind of like the name of your sign, but you know, this is not going to be a bad thing. You're not going to be sidetracked. You're not going to be feeling, oh, everything is working well, everything is perfect, which sometimes Venus retrograde makes us feel. But instead, you're going to feel like, okay, you know what, let me kind of like do different things. And in the last few days of June, you can be really quite happy to work on kind of like fine-tuning or editing and getting yourself organized. In any case, it's going to feel like that quite a bit of this month. You're going through some kind of preparations, and then at the very end you have everything ready. You just have to push the buttons and everything is kind of like working properly. So let's check also what we see in tarot for this month. So we have the Ace of Swords and the Strength reversed. So actually we have 3 major arcana, 4. Okay, so this is clearly a message. So the Ace of Sky is talking about something that is not spoken, not said, but something that's crucial importance and that's something you should know. It can sometimes talk about the outright lies, and it could be about some strength of commitment that you have. So that goes back to what I was telling you in astrology about relationships. Something maybe appears, you're clearly getting like, smart. Because this can talk about illusions. This can talk about the codependent relationships or people from the past that are trying to rule you. Maybe you feel you're going through a situation that you were too lenient for too long. You're really trying to figure out what is the best way to resolve the situation. You don't want to really screw somebody over, but at the same time, you're really feeling it is really time to set things straight. This is extremely powerful over here, guys, what I see. We have both 9 energies for major arcanas. Like, this is very similar energy, even though they appear very different. One is water, one is earth, but this is 9, the Hermit. This is 18, the Moon. 1 and 8 is 9 as well. It talks about a conclusion of some sort, and this is like calmly thinking through what is the best and kind of like what fruits are going to come through. This is going through the unknown, right? So it's a little bit higher level. So it's almost the same, except here you're in motion, and here you really don't know, you cannot plan, but you're really sure that you will react properly if certain things happen, right? So that is very, really important to know. Then you have like 2 of Swords, like, so we are following the theme. It's kind of like decision time, and that's nothing new. Every single sign, the entire freaking month is going to feel about the same. We are going to be feeling confused, we will not know, and that's because of these retrogrades that we are having, and that can be difficult even for the most balanced person. Then you have a Sea King reversed. It might be that some emotions are coming in play. Sea King can talk about being ultra emotional, overwhelming emotional. There's like something, it's complete imbalance. And that's what we see it here. It's so hard to move forward. You need to make this decision between a head and a heart. And your heart, it's either hurting, or it could be a loss of some sort, guys. It could be something that hasn't been done properly, or some kind of like guilt, some situation that needs to be addressed. We have the Empress. So this is again going back to what I said. You need pampering. You need kind of like to look at your home life. So whoever that is, if this is just you and your cat, so be it. You need to pamper that. And that is going to start sending this message for the bigger universe. If there are more people or pets included, make it bigger, right? So this is about this nurturing energy. This also could mean just visiting your mother and getting this like homemade cuisine and just simply feel right, simply feel connected in the situation. You have a Sky King. So this tells me, and you have a Sea King reversed, and you have a Sky King, and it kind of like would be exactly that example, right? This dude here thinking which way to go. So there is like one way, the Sky King, but unfortunately this is the other way that is reversed. So this is kind of like nice and sober thought, but maybe it's like a little bit too much withdrawn emotionally, versus this one is like bawling their eyes out and demanding, and you feel guilt over something. And yet, you know you shouldn't be feeling guilt, and then it's kind of like making it very, very difficult. So you need to go back to again to what I told you about the strategy and thinking, and this is something you have been working on already. You already know the answer. The answer in your case is kind of like, you need to think through it. You need to kind of like now act on all these kind of like thoughts and ideas that you had. Do not forget yourself. Do not forget this nurturing, the Empress that is showing up over here. You have also 5 of fire, and this could mean that people will cross the line, that they will do things that they have promised not to do. That could be like why, you know, you just allow somebody, maybe you're just simply, let's say, going through a situation yourself where you cannot absorb more. Remember how I said don't take anything you cannot take? Maybe if somebody just tries to load you with things, and maybe you are feeling that you cannot say no, or that is going to create consequences. Trust me, if you think you cannot do it, if you think you cannot sustain certain relationship, or if you feel, hey, okay, if you wish it so badly, I'll do it, don't do it, because this is such a wrong thing to do. Some of you, it's going to be a question of a commitment. Some of you, you're really wondering if something is true or something is lie. You already actually have answers. You already know it, except your emotions are messing you up. And those emotions are almost pushing you in a completely different 180 from the answer. So keep that in mind. And this is you, Fire Queen. And you're going to, after all, going through some kind of like internal turmoil, or maybe struggle, or the tension that's going to be felt. This could be 2 different people. It could be exes popping up. Oh my gosh, past issues, as I told you. Different people bringing their different issues / baggage and needing to deal with it. But look at that. This is kind of like passing with flying colors and feeling comfort and feeling that decision is done, that you're finally being actively doing it, right? And this is your own house, and you're getting 7 of Earth over here. So this is kind of like about it waiting. And you know it's going to happen, but it's not time for it yet. You still need to be patient. There's like still way to go. Not too much. We are in 7. We need to get into 9, right? Which is kind of like clearly telling you that this last few phases are kind of like turbulent. But nonetheless, you have to do it, and you're actually more than willing to do it. The environment for you is Earth Tom, and it is reversed. Usually to me, this card represents a friend. So somebody is either withdrawing their friendship or feel that you haven't been a friend. Maybe this is like, maybe you have water sign and air sign around you, and fire sign. Maybe this is like somebody around you. This usually, if it's not you, it would signify Leo. So the other signs that I see here is Libra, I see Taurus, I see Pisces, Capricorn, and Virgo, that are really meshing with your energies. So there's like some kind of like issue about some commitments. Somebody is like either slacking on their commitment, or they feel maybe they treated you like a doormat for a while, and now something happened, the doormat is no longer there, and hence they still want to claim their rights, and you're like thinking like, WTF, what the heck you want? Like, just because you got away with this for such a long time doesn't mean it's right. So there's going to be a really interesting development over here. It's kind of like dropping dead weight and not letting people to get away with stuff. So this is hopes and fears, and you're getting, ta-da, the new beginning. That's what I said. It's the whole month. If you skip the astrology part, please go back. This is about, as I said, the whole month is going to be revving up for something that is going to start happening 25th to 27th. So I know it's a long wait, but this is what's going to happen. And it's going to be very exciting. So take this new leap. Take these exciting new opportunities. You are already ready. It just kind of like, it's planetary involvement right now that is causing delays and everything, but it is going in a good direction. And don't forget to rest. for sky. It means at times you're going to feel tired, and you're going to actually really feel guilty for being tired, and you'll feel guilty because of all these detours and delays and things not happening, and you finally get into your kind of like modality. There's like finally this action, and then again you feel like, oh my gosh, I just can sleep 24 hours right now. Just do it, because this is really talking about creating that harmony, creating that balance. And let me get one more card here for you. Truth. Look at how lovely this is. They're looking each other in the eyes and they're telling the story. Remember how we started this tarot segment with some truth not being told and then revisiting it? So this is again to me going back to the old stories. Maybe that's a lie you said to yourself. Maybe sometimes we just accept ourselves or are too busy or not dedicated enough, or simply something is in a way that we just don't get where we want. Whatever this is, quitting smoking, eating better, exercising more, right? Kind of like being dragged down. Like that's why the devil card is showing up. Like when you kind of like, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, as I told you, majors, 5, 6, it's huge. And this is also a karma card. Something is majorly turning around for you this month, and this doesn't mean it didn't work better before, but it means like you're actually taking with you everything that worked and adding something new. You're feeling again the blood is circulating through your veins. You're feeling alive, and you're really coming to really quick decisions, but you're not going to compromise anymore. People in your life have to be candid and honest, even if this means bowling their eyes and losing it. But there's also the need to take you for who you are, and if this means that you can't do it, you can't do it no matter what. So it's going to be really interesting. As I said, keep a cool head. Don't be impatient. I mean, we are seeing the same motive over here that is kind of like signifying patience, and like, I mean, day and night. It can be challenging situations and positions, but don't react as a knee-jerk reaction. Just do it with a cool head, and this is resulting in some kind of like spectacular success and asking you for the new beginning. But when it's a time to sleep, also sleep. But I think most of the month you'll be preparing yourself for something that is going to have a beautiful grand finale toward the last few days of the month. So we will see what happens in July the next time around. So guys, if you got some messages that it resonated very well, this is because they were meant for you. It's a general reading, so you cannot expect everything to resonate. For that, please guys contact me for your private reading at cattarot.ca. And until the next month, visit my social media and you can get your dose of daily tarot. And don't forget to visit me on live every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys, all the best, and talk to you next month.